Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my second podcast, a second live stream today. Normally I'm on at 7 p.m. It's not 7 p.m., it's now 3 p.m. in the afternoon on the west coast of California. I had to move up my live stream from 7 p.m. to 3 p.m. to do some family obligations that are going on this evening. So I'm just glad that I've had the opportunity to hear and welcome you. And here we are. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and we are here to fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week. I've been doing so since October 23. And I have not missed a day of it. Weeks and days and weeks and months and years have gone by. So it's been over 17 months. And I look forward to it because I'm here to help you all. I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father and a husband that unfortunately got caught with CPS. They're very bad to me. They tore my family apart. I lost my home. I've had a hard time trying to find work. They retaliated and stole my daughter. I can talk about those things later, but I'm here to talk about your case and to help you all. Now, a lot of people aren't expecting me on this early, so they may be slowly dribbling in. One thing you can guarantee that if you check me and check to follow me, which I'd appreciate, and write some reviews. Also, check the notifications so you never miss my live stream. I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week. I come on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. That's Pacific Standard Time for 1 hour. Then I come on 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday at 7 p.m. for 1 hour Pacific Standard Time. Now, on the weekends, I'm on at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then there's certain days like today that I may come on earlier. I'll let you know ahead of time because I don't want you to miss anything. And I want to be here to help you because your case is important to me. You're important to me. You're a loving father or a mother, that cares about family, that cares about children. You wouldn't be in here if you didn't care about your children. A lot of you have told me horrible stories. Now, I've talked to over 1,000 people, not only from the United States, but from around the world. I've talked to 21 countries, from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India to the Middle East, from Saudi Arabia to Libya, then to Africa. I've talked to Liberia and Sudan and Rwanda and Mozambique and several provinces in South Africa. Up to Europe, I've talked to England, Scotland, Wales, and Denmark and Sweden. Across the pond to North America, I've talked to 4 provinces in Canada, all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. I've talked to south of border Mexico, and then to South America to Grenada on the east coast of South America, north of Brazil. Then across the Pacific, I've talked to New Zealand, and then the land down under Australia and 2 provinces there. So the calls have been from all people from walks in life. But they have something in common, the same thing I had. They stole your children when they weren't in danger, and they did not do family reunification. They tried to steal your children and try to make money off you. There are bad CPS entities out there. What I call CPS is the Child Protection Systems. There's a government entity in every county, in every state, in every country. Now, in the United States, Congress mandated that social services create an entity, a child protection system entity that will protect our children from neglect or abuse and to help a family with family reunification if the family is broken apart. Not only are supposed to help with family, they're supposed to help out with food and shelter and clothing and transportation, medical and education, and even find a job. That's the purpose of social services. They're supposed to protect our people and provide all those things. Now, within the child protection system, they're supposed to do family reunification. Our children are being abused. At least 1,000 children a day are going unreported for horrific acts. Not all CPS is bad, but the ones that I have encountered, the ones that my 1,000-some people have, they have been. They're a rogue entity that's found making money more important than family reunification or caring for the parents or the child. Now, a family consists more than just a mother and father. It consists of the grandparents, the aunts, the cousins. You know, it consists of the brothers and sisters. That is a family. So many times CPS says, we're not going to talk to grandparents. That's wrong. That is wrong. Grandparents have much right as parents do. But it's been studies proven that the best parents to raise a child have been the biological mother and father. When a child's born, they're bonded real readily with that mother and father. And they grow up and they're supposed to be molded and shaped. Now, no one's born with a book on how to raise children or how to fight CPS or how to do your taxes or how to get assistance or all those things. Those are life skills that are taught by others as you go through life. I wish life skills was included in every facet of education, in preppy school and in preschool, preppy, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, college, and your master's and your other degrees. Every semester or every quarter, a child as it grows up to a grown adult and a grown adult, they should get some form of life skill education. Early years, it could be the buddy system. It could be also the when to talk and not talk to strangers, what to do if you're lost, where's your phone number. Bullying is a big thing in elementary. As you grow older into middle school, sex becomes very interesting to children. You need sexual education. And in high school, you need to know about marriage and divorce and families and CPS and balance the checkbook and so forth. Same thing goes for into college. You need to know those things. You need to know life skills that will help you in life, how to do loans, how to play sports and all those things. All these life skills should be taught in conjunction with the academics, the reading, the writing, and the arithmetic. That's what it is. It's reading, writing, arithmetic, but it also should be life skills and physical education. It's important that your body is tuned. To make it really good, you as parents should make sure your child has some form of physical education, that your child is informed. If you're not life skills, then you could teach them the life skills. They're not hard, the life skills. They're just knowing and experiencing things. And that's why this forum is good here, because I can experience my problems with CPS and have you not make the same mistakes as I did. I made so bad mistakes. I've developed 5 rules that will help you with your CPS case. 1 is get an attorney. I'll talk more in depth on each one. 2 is document everything. 3 is say no to CPS and the police. 4 is how to use your words when you're searching the internet about CPS. And 5, copies of all your legal documents to be put in one envelope and kept with your documents. So those are real simple. My 5 rules, really simple there. And I know a lot of you listen to me and hear me again, and I know it can be redundant or repetitious, but I'm hoping that I catch new people every time, because you as parents will not know what's coming. A lot of you parents use the CPS to alienate your spouse. That's not going to work. When you call the CPS, you open up a can of worms. Typically, as CPS, when they get a call, it's either from a mandatory reporter, which is a professional, or from a layperson, which is your family, friends, your relatives, your acquaintances, those kinds of individuals. The mandated reporters are professionals, or your school teacher, your policemen, your firemen, your school teachers, your counselors, caregivers. Eventually, it's all those people that work with children. They go to school, they have to learn about how to recognize neglect and abuse. They have to know how to report it, and they're responsible because by law they can be fired. They're mandated reporters. Now, lay people don't have any mandated reporting, but they still report it, and some of them report it with retaliation. I say 50% of what they report is true, whereas in the mandated reporters, the professionals, I say 75% of it's true. There's still that gray area. And the same thing with the lay people. And that was my case. My in-laws, my wife's mother, father, 3 sisters, and 1 brother were calling in every week about something that my wife and I were not doing right with taking care of our children. None of it was proven, and the CPS got tired of waiting 5 years, so they hired a detective to track me down, and then they wanted me to open the house and surrender my children. I did not know the law. If I knew the law now, that back then they would never have got into my house, never taken my children. That's why you don't allow them in your house. That's my rule number 3, is you don't talk to policemen or social workers. You don't allow them in your house. Because once they get in the house, they think they have permission to do anything. And what you may think is great, they may think is awful. They're witch hunting. A lot of them, they don't care about the family. They care about the money they're going to get. Like the Bill Clinton Incentive Act of 1994, where he rewards the CPS lots of money for getting the children adopted into foster care. He felt that refamily unitization took too long. Family reunification takes about a year, because some people have to take a program called domestic violence, which is a 52-week class. There are other programs you can take that will help you, and also there are parenting classes you can take. The parenting classes are usually shorter and only last about a month, but the programs are a lot longer, 6 months to a year. But anyway, this CPS agency that you encounter may be bad. You don't know. So the best thing to do is you don't open your door. You don't know who's answered the door. When you're a little small child, you were told, don't answer the door. Why? Because you can be kidnapped by a stranger or hurt by a stranger. That still goes applicable now. The people that your loved ones can ring the door with a certain knock or ring, and then you can let them in. But don't let these social workers in the house. They're strangers. They will not help you or talk to you. All they want to do is kidnap the child, traffic the child into foster care so they get money. When they investigate, they're going to call the county and get a number. The number, then the request on forms for food. And so that's what, well, they'll request it for more than, I'm sorry, not food, but they'll request assistance in the form of financial means, meaning that the state will pay the county Stand corrected. The county will pay the CPS entity the money. Like in Orange County, California, a child figure was $20,000 per child. I had 3 children in there. They were collecting $60,000 per month per my child for 3 years. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money they're making off my children. It doesn't take that amount of money to collect. In those 3 years, they got over $216,000. And that's just for 3 children. And I'm telling you, it does not cost that much to raise children. I should know. I'm not an attorney, but I'm a loving father and a husband. I have 42 years of marriage experience and have helped raise 6 children. And 3 of them are older adults. They have family owned and they have children. My 3 youngest ones were still living at home when they trafficked them into foster care back in the summer of 2015. And for 3 years, I had to fight them. The first year, I tried to fight them with my court appointed attorney. That was the worst mistake I ever made in my life. Court appointed attorneys are worthless. They're only trained in criminal law, and they're hired by the CPS, and they are controlled by the CPS. And they are having a caseload of 30 more clients, so they don't have time for your case. They'll not actively fight because they want the case over so they get more clients. They're on an incentive program. Everybody in CPS in Orange County and other places that I've talked to are on incentive of taking money. And it's millions of dollars. The business is trillion. $1 billion all the time goes to state. And then $1 million goes to the county. And it's replenished. There's a lot of money that the federal government sends out on help, but the help isn't going in the right way. It's going in the pockets of people operating that. Right now, the new President Trump is having Doge investigate social services. Hopefully, Elon Musk will find out the problems in CPS because the money there is robbing from our taxpayers. You wonder about where the money is. What's with our dollars and crazy scams? Like I know a scam in Utah where they're supposed to develop fuel. They've been paying this religious order millions of dollars every year, unanswered. They haven't performed a drop of fuel. They have not produced a drop of good fuel. So hopefully down the road there will be. I know there's an investigation in Richmond, Kentucky, and the cabinet, that's the name of their CPS, has found a social worker with over $400,000. He embezzled the funds. They're soon to find the other $600,000. It's very common for social workers to embezzle the funds. It really is. I'm having one of those days where I don't see people. on my show. And I know there's people in this room listening. There's a half a dozen of you. And I meant to tell you that there's ways you can interact with this podcast. Not only listening and taking notes, you can send me emojis, smiley faces, thumbs up, hearts, or even stars. But another way you can interact on this live stream is to text me a message or a comment about CPS, a question or comment about CPS. All I ask you is to show your first name and your city or county, the state and country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case. Please tell me about your CPS case. Now, another way that you can, missing it. Where did it go? Oh boy. Hmm. Now, to be a guest on my live stream, I can take 9 of you. Please be a guest on my live stream by emailing a time and a day you want to be on. Please send me an email to my show producer, Grace at vincentwdavis.com. Now, I'm going to put that banner up so you can see it. To be a guest on my live stream by emailing a time and date you want to be on. Please send an email to my show producer, Grace at vincentwdavis.com. Now, another way that you can be on my live stream is by calling me at 623-626-698-0990. That's my direct line to my office phone. I use Vonage. And you're welcome to call me on that during my showtime hours. So anytime my live stream is going on, you can call in, okay? And now, if you call in or you're a guest on my live stream, you will qualify for a free 15-minute session with Vincent Davis. That is a private Zoom consultation meeting, and he will talk to you about your case. And you have 15 questions, he'll do that, okay? Hello there, Mighty Me King. You're very new to this live stream. I'm glad you came here. You say you actually work for the Arizona Department of Child Safety as an ongoing case manager. Well, that sounds great. I'm on a break at work right now, so I can't stick around long. But if you got anything you'd like to ask, go for it. Well, I'm not too familiar with Arizona. I know they have the child system there, and they call themselves Department of Children and Safety. And so my question is what are your relationship to the Department of Child and Safety? How do you involve yourself with families and family reunification, getting the families back? Well, that's great. I agree with you on that, Mighty Mem King. I might do that at some point. Topic suggestion: Interstate Compact for the Placement of Children. That's the ICPC. I know it quite well. What that is, that's a government entity that transfers one child from one state to another state. They check out the place they're going and where they're coming from, make sure the child's safety at all times. So, do you work with them? I've seen cases in which the ICPC actually gets in the way of case closures or family reunification. Well, that's first negative thing I've heard now in my 17 months about the ICPC. I know they're slow about things. I know there was a child that was being transferred from Georgia to Texas for special needs while the mother was incarcerated, and that child was left and lost in the state of Texas, and the CPS, the entity there, kept on and kept getting the money for him until he was 19, to finally the mother who got out of prison, served at times, flew a plane and got her son back. He's a special needs. And what was happening there is that he was doped up with the wrong kind of drugs. He had all kinds of problems when he came home. He couldn't sleep, eat right. He had blood in his urine. It was an awful thing what the ICPC and the CPS did there in Texas. But anyway, he's back home with his mother in Georgia. So I know a lot about the ICPC. And so believe me, I don't know. They are a private government organization. You see, right now, there's no control over foster care or the ICPC or the CPS systems. There's no control. There isn't a board of directors or a board of supervisors. The federal government and the state government do nothing. They have civil rights coordinators and ombudspersons, but they don't do their job. At the federal level, there's nothing. Now, I don't know with the new administration that the DOJ will investigate social services. They also investigate the child protection systems and find out where money is going and so forth. I know where one case is being investigated in Richmond, Kentucky, where the federal CPS is asking where the $1 million went to. So far, they've found that one of the social workers embezzled $400,000 of it. They'll find the rest of the money. But I know the money gets embezzled and gets taken because a lot of the CPS entities rely on the money. It's a $1 trillion business, trillions of dollars that CPS makes, and then they send billions to the state, who sends millions to the county. It's a very lucrative business with bonuses and incentives given to social workers to buy BMW cars and their accessories and everything else. There's so many of bonuses are given out. In fact, in 1994, President Bill Clinton signed into law the Incentive Act, which says if you put your children and they're adopted in foster care quicker than reunification, they'll get a bonus of money, because right now it takes a year to do reunification or longer, because some programs like domestic violence is 12 months. It's 1 year program. So it is really hard there. So I'm glad you're in here, Mighty. Georgia, no kidding. That's one of our problem states with the ICPC. Well, I think Texas should be added to it and certain other things. Now, what do you do, Might, with CPS? What is your involvement with CPS or foster care? Have you ever heard about in Prescott, Arizona, about the pink ladies? 8 white women social workers that bought pink t-shirts in the year 2022 and stenciled on the front, they are professional child kidnappers. And on the back, they put, parents, do you know where your children are? And they paraded around at Costco, Walmart, Kmart, Target, JCPenney, Sears, Best Buys, all the big department stores, and sent a message out to the parents. They were caught and that they were fired along with the director of CPS, or actually called Department of Children's Services, DCS, in Prescott, Arizona in 2022. So 9 people were kicked out, but that didn't help solve the children that needed to be protected. That left one social worker to handle the investigations and the caseloads and everything else in the CPS organization, or the Department of Children's Services. So I don't know if you heard about that one, but look it up. Now, Mighty says the Arizona Department of Children's Services also can't file for juvenile dependency dismissal either if an ICPC is in programs, and unfortunately, case managers can get told that until they're directly got an ICPC out. Well, that sounds complicated. I never focus about the pink ladies. I did hear about a kid that died after running from a group home in such Arizona recently. Yes, I heard about that one too. You know, group homes, shelters run by Boys Town have been terrible. I know firsthand because my dealings was in Orange County. I've been fighting them for 15 years. But they allowed Boys Town to run one of their homes, and it really hurt the children because they're used to working with children with no parents. When you have parents that have hiccups, they can be corrected. Family reunification is the best means to bring a family back together, but it's got to be done with the help of CPS and the foster care system. But right now they don't. They only interested in money. They traffic children, which is illegal. They alienate children, which is illegal. I can go on and on and on. Fighting CPS is like fighting doing open heart surgery is what I say it is. I had somebody just asked about named Justin Clackmus from Oregon, city of Sandy. How do you get a lawyer if you have no income? That's a good question. I had to sell my house to get my attorney. Now, Mighty says group homes are my least favorite part of this job. I work with the same great ones, but always try to find literally any relative I can find first. Well, yeah, you see, CPS is supposed to put them with family members. A family that is being broken up has the right to submit a list of family members. They should be taken first. But CPS doesn't want that list of families. They want them in foster care. Why? Because they get that incentive money that Bill Clinton signed into law in 1994. That's why. They're corrupt. I don't have to say anything more. I have over 1,000 people that'll back me up with that. Yeah, you can locate relatives all the way in places like Louisiana and Georgia before I have to seeing kids go to group homes. Well, that's good of you. I'm glad that you do that. You should do that. That's really good of you. Now, my phone is live. If you want to call in at 626-698-0990, I'd love to hear from you, and you can talk about your case with me. I don't bite. I'm here to help you. I can share a lot of things that will help you. I already told you there are 5 rules that come with. 1, you need to get an attorney that is trained in juvenile law, family law, dependency law. And that attorney should have experience finding or sending kids back to the homes or getting their children out of CPS, fighting there. And one way to find that attorney is word your words correctly on the internet. My rule number 4 says that you start out with the city and then the state and then and if they're from another Country, put the country next, and then put the letters CPS. And after CPS, you'll see all kinds of things that will come up about that city and state or that country. And it'll pop up. And then further, you can refine it. So, for instance, right now, you're asking. So, if you're trying to locate an attorney, you say locate a juvenile law, family law, dependency law attorney. That's right after the letter CPS. And you see a bunch of names pop up. It's important you get 3 quotes from 3 reputable lawyers. One I've already done for you. It's Vincent W. Davis. And you can talk to him for free for 15 minutes. Because he has been fighting CPS for 39 years, has won children getting back. He's also a trial attorney. When your case is closed, he can sue CPS, and he's won millions of dollars. So he should be the one of the 3 you should call. Now, the questions are really important when you ask. You ask, are you a licensed juvenile law, family law, dependency law, and have fought CPS and gotten children back? The answer is yes. Then the second question should be, is after the case is closed, have you ever filed a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit, either in state or federal court against CPS and won money back? If the answer is yes, you got yourself a winner of an attorney. So you've narrowed your list down from a bunch of calls down to 2, and then you got Vincent Davis 3, then you should call all 3. And have a meeting about the retainer. Every attorney would charge, like to retain Mr. Davis in LA County, California, a retainer is $5,000, $5K. But it goes up as you go further and further away. There's per diem he has to put in and so forth. His rate is $500 an hour. He is a real live CPS attorney that will fight and get your kids back. Ask him as well as you ask the other 2 attorneys for the retainer, but also 3 references so that you can check them out. You should also go to Vincent's webpage. It's vincentwdavis.com. Make sure you put the https:// and then vincentwdavis.com, and you'll find out so much information. So much information. Now I want to go back to Mighty and see what else he has to say. I need to get back to work right now, but it was nice to pop in a bit. I might jump back in later when I'm off work. Well, tonight's show is right now, so my next nighttime show is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My daytime shows are 10. But I'm glad to have you, Mighty, and it was nice to explain. I still like to know what you basically do in your connection with CPS. Now, see, it's getting close to my time. It's 3:55. I have about 5 minutes. I'm going to take my phone number down because there's not enough time to do the phone calls. But anyway, in the last 5 minutes, I like to go over my rules one more time. I pretty much talked about an attorney. Try not to use a court-appointed attorney. If you're going to use a court-appointed attorney, be aware that they're only trained in criminal law. They will not fight for your case, and their caseload is so heavy they have 30 or more clients, so they don't have time for your case. If you do use a court-appointed attorney, make sure they work for you, not sit around. You have to tell them that you sue them for negligence if they can't work. You have to sue them for negligence. And also report them to the bar. Report them to the bar. Now, I want to end my live stream I want to thank the people that came in. Some of you, I know their names. Some of them I don't know. I want to thank Mighty Mike from Arizona that had an organization he works for. And I want to thank you all and keep fighting for your kids. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. This is Bob Pace signing off.